Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Monday, August 4th, 2025. I am Bishop Darrell Watkins, the Senior Minister of the Sunshine Cathedral. With me today are Bishop Robert Griffin, Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell, and Reverend Kevin Tisdall. We are the Queer God Squad. Visit sunshinecathedral.org to learn more about us.
Queer God Squad was created by Hotspots Happening Out to support our mission to explore the value of faith in the LGBTQ community. There is no streaming TV show like this in the entire world.
In 2025, we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of Hotspots magazine, the 5th anniversary of Queer News Tonight, with nearly 10,000 stories and 10 million views in 2024. We produced the 25th anniversary of the Stonewall Pride Parade and Festival on June 14th. Pride fed Diversity Pride in August and Pride Fort Lauderdale next February.
We are the largest nonprofit LGBTQ media organization in America, and we encourage you to support our mission to inform, entertain, and educate our community and allies.
This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. No, Virginia Ramey Mollenkott, a scholar who challenged patriarchy and heteronormativity. Virginia Ramey Mollenkott, who lived from 1932 to 2020, was a highly influential feminist theologian, writer, and literary critic. Her groundbreaking work challenged traditional patriarchal interpretations of Christian scripture and doctrine, advocating for inclusive and affirming perspectives on gender, sexuality, and justice within the church. Mollenkott is best known for her seminal book, The Divine Feminine, The Biblical Imagery of God as Female, from 1983, which meticulously explored biblical passages that depict God with feminine attributes, thereby questioning exclusive male language for the divine. She also co-authored Is the Homosexual My Neighbor, which was revised and updated in 1994 with Letha Dawson Scanzoni, a pioneering text that urged evangelicals to reconsider their stance on LGBTQ+ inclusion based on compassion and scriptural reinterpretation. Later in life, Mollenkott tackled presumed gender binaries. Throughout her career, Mollenkott consistently championed radical hospitality and a more expansive understanding of God's love, leaving an indelible mark on progressive Christian thought. Now, I was first really exposed to Dr. Mollenkott's work through a mutual friend of ours, actually, the Reverend Dr. B.K. Hipsher. And when she first came to visit Amy and me, she brought a copy of Dr. Mollenkott's book, Omnigender, which was a fabulous book. And I tore through that, and it was wonderful. It was really eye-opening. But then I began using the Divine Feminine quite a lot in my seminary work, which made a lot of eyeballs turn and heads turn. And in the seminary that I attended, it wasn't something that was used particularly. But it was a remarkable work, and anybody who's looking to explore the idea of God in feminine imagery, The Divine Feminine, is a phenomenal book.
Yeah, it's on my shelf.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And in the early days, because I grew up in the Bible Belt, and so the early days, that Homosexual is My Neighbor, it was a late 80s, early 90s, I don't know when I got it, but it had already been out for a while, and it was very helpful. So if you're from that area, or you've got people from that world, coming at you, it was very, very helpful. Now, she died several years ago, but her work is relevant still. What I'm amazed by her, first of all, she tackled sexuality and gender not only in her research, but in her life. Like, as she would make breakthroughs and discoveries, she would live that out loud. And so she had a sexuality and gender journeys, and she shared that. So I love that. That adds a lot of authenticity, I think, to someone's work. And she also was, I believe, trained as a literary scholar. And so I love that, because she used literary criticism on biblical literature. And so that was a different perspective than the historical critical approach or social scientific approach or allegorical approach. So she had her own, and I love transdisciplinary work. I love interdisciplinary work. And so she brought this whole field of literature study, which has now also broken into cultural studies and performance studies and gender and sexuality studies. Literature is a good jumping off place for almost anything. And so she brought that literary scholarship to scripture and then to theology. And I think that was a great gift. It was a different voice and a different lens and a different perspective. And we need that. I love transdisciplinarity so much.
I think I met Dr. Mollenkott once when she did a lecture at a conference, and I think it was around when Agenda came out.
Okay.
And so I remember meeting her, and I mean, she was on presentation. It was one of the most, I didn't know whose presence I was standing in until much later.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I think one of those was a required reading for MCC at one point also. But what fascinated me about her work is, like you guys kind of said, she lived her life out. I mean, she studied, she researched, and she lived her life according to such. And I think she was probably one of the first people that was popped on my radar as a trans person that was out that much and writing and on the public platform and everything else. And so love her work, still very valid today. And I think for anybody who is questioning, struggling, any of those lines in the LGBT, in the queer community, this is the go-to person.
I think it's great to know that we have such resources that we can pull from and listen to someone speak from their own personal travel, their own journey, and for us to know that we're not alone. I think that it's important for us to understand that there have been trailblazers and that we should take advantage of what they've done so that we can grow on what they've done.
Yeah, I do want to just ask viewers, if these stories, if these windows into history, if these introductions to people's lives, queer lives, as well as the theology stuff and the Bible stuff and all that and the news stuff, that if this is a resource for you, if you like it, if you learn something, if it made you feel good, if it made you think deeply, please like it. It's very thing. Just click like and share. Yeah. Just on one of you, could be Instagram, could be just on one of your social media things. Just like it and share it. That helps us so much because we want to get this out. It doesn't monetize. I mean, we don't get anything personally out of it other than this message into more hands. And that's what we really, really want. So please like it and share it and join us every day, 3 o'clock Eastern, or whenever you can, because we're still there, for our Queer God Squad discussions. This is the Queer God Squad.
Before we go, I want to invite you to like and share this episode on your social media. And I also welcome you to find Sunshine Cathedral on Facebook or Instagram.
You can also like our bishops' pages on Facebook. My page is Bishop Robert Griffin, D-Min, and Darrell's is Bishop Darrell Watkins, D-Min. We're also on TikTok. Remember to visit sunshinecathedral.org frequently. There you will also find Bishop Talk, where Bishop Darrell and I interview queer religious leaders, activists, and scholars. We've also added a weekly lectionary discussion that you can find on the website and on the social medias.
Thank you for joining the Queer God Squad today. We are here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ community is talking about.
Sunshine Cathedral is the world's leading progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together. Remember that we are all in this together, and also remember, you are God's miracle, not God's mistake. Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad. Bye.